welcome back to How to Build a Yellow Aircraft F-16. This is episode number 2, and today we're going to be building this wing. The wings come fully sheeted. It's got a styrofoam core, and it looks like a layer of carbon fiber, and then balsa, and later on we're going to put some fiberglass sheeting on this. You can kind of see it was built really well. I was pretty happy with it. We do have to shape the leading edge there, but that leading edge does come glued onto it. Basically, all we have to do is cut out the aileron, add some plywood to the end there, and then a sheet of balsa here, or a stick rather, and then a stick of balsa here. And we've got to put this together. There's kind of an elaborate hinge system that goes through. It actually goes pretty much from here, runs all the way through to the end there. So that sucker's on there for good. We do also need to build this control arm here, and then put this fiberglass piece onto the aileron. So let's get started. Okay, the very first step, they want you to cut out the aileron from the pre-sheeted balsa wing. What they recommend doing is measuring out to the furthest line, drawing a line perpendicular here, and cutting that out. They also want a second line that's 3/32 into the root. That's going to give you enough clearance when you put the plywood ends on there to still move. One thing I should have checked first is if you look on the other side here, I've kind of got some cuts here to show. The line on the other wing was a little bit shorter. I kind of got these lines from my other aileron that I built, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of filling right here and right there. So no biggie, just something I should have checked out first, and probably should have started with the wing with the longest cut. So anyways, watch out for that. I'll go ahead and cut this out, and we'll get on to the next step. Okay, so that only took a few minutes. I cut out the aileron there. This piece right here, that's garbage. That's just a piece of scrap now. Okay, so the next step is I need to cut that other line, the one that's 3/32 in from the end cut there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll go on to step 3. Okay, we got our second cut done, the one that was 3/32 inch in from our original cut. What that allows us to do is when we put our 1/32 inch ply in here, we'll have one piece that'll go here on the outside, and then one that'll actually attach to the aileron itself. So that's why we needed to cut that distance there, so there'd be room for the aileron to clear. It's also a good idea to clean up our cuts afterwards. I'm just going to sand this side and this side, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll actually get on to step 3. Okay, so step 3, basically what we are going to do is we're going to be taking some epoxy. We'll epoxy the trailing edge balsa stock here to the back. Before I do that, I am going to sand this edge here to match the angle there. We're also going to do the leading edge of the aileron. It's the exact same size piece of balsa, so it's easy to find. There's going to be 4 altogether in the kit. We're also going to put in our 1/32 inch ply right there, and then we're also going to cut a piece to shape on the outside edge of the aileron. So I'm going to get started on that and come back in just a sec. Okay, so we got our end pieces on here. I got the plywood end pieces on here. So we're pretty much done with the main part of the wing there. We are going to need to sand everything flush, including the leading edge. One thing you might want to use is one of these little mini planes, especially back here. I'm still a little nervous to use it on the leading edge. I just feel like I'm going to goof that up. But anyways, but for the parts that are perfectly straight here, one of these works great. And then you don't have to breathe in all the sanding dust. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and do that. While that's drying, the next piece we're really going to be building is this Aileron Torque rod here. Real easy to put together. All you gotta do is put this little threaded bullet doodad into the end here. We're not going to glue that in place yet because it has to come out when we test fit the end of the aileron here. This is the next piece also that we're going to be building. Kind of coincides with our Aileron Torque rod there. I don't really enjoy this part. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to take from the center line here, you're going to draw two lines that are 3/16 inch apart. Then you have to Dremel it out. It's also going to be 3/16 inch deep. They recommend using a Dremel 3mm straight cutter. I couldn't find one anywhere. Home Depot, Lowe's, nobody seemed to have it. So anyways, I found one that was smaller, so I've got to dig it out a little bit. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so I've got our aileron end piece here completed. I've Dremeled out the hole that's needed, just like that. What that's going to allow is our Aileron Torque rod to fit in. Just a second. Okay, it fits in there just like that. Straighten that up a little bit. Alright, so where that hole is, we're actually going to take a number 45 drill bit and just drill straight in there. You want to be real careful not to drill out the threads right there. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, I've drilled the hole. That's just a starter hole. We're going to use the number 27 drill bit now to enlarge that. What that's going to allow us to do is put this little bullet sleeve inside there, so that when we get our torque rod and everything together, that'll just be one removable piece that you can just slide in there, and that's what gives it the control. So I'm going to go ahead and enlarge the hole and put in that bullet sleeve. You got to rough up the outside, put some epoxy on there, and then slide it into the hole. So we'll do that next. Okay, so what I've done now, I've enlarged the hole, and what we're going to do is take our torque rod assembly. We're going to put the bullet sleeve over the end here, and then put it into the hole. Now I've already roughened up the bullet sleeve, and I've already got some 5-minute epoxy in there. So we're going to put this together with the torque rod and kind of hold it in place. That way the glue will cure with everything in place, so everything will be lined up just the way it's supposed to be. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to let the glue dry there, and there we go. It wasn't pushed all the way to the end there. Alright. Make sure that the torque rod lines up with the leading edge of that aileron end piece.